Okay, here we go. DJI Mini 4 Pro. Betty Lou's stretching her wings today. We'll see how this goes. There's the fall leaves that should be falling right now, but they're not even hardly turning color yet. So look at that overgrown grass. Somebody ought to mow this place. Here we go. Motor started. She's up a few feet. She's going to take her up to about 21, 23 feet. Let her get an idea of her landing spot, lock in on it, take some pictures, and she should be good to go. So here we go. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, 10:30, somewhere in there. Second week of October, and we're up and away. Flying due south. We've got the wind at our backs a little bit. And we're going to let old Betty Lou stretch her wings today. It's the Mini 4 Pro. She likes to get a little air up her skirt, and she's getting it today, that's for sure. We're going to let her have it today. She's wearing a ND16 filter today. A lot of time I fly without any filters, but it's a pretty bright day. So we're going to put the ND16 on there. As you can see, the woods, yeah, that's about as much color as you're going to get in these woods. Poor moisture during the spring and summer, and not much in the fall either. And this is the kind of colors you have as a result. Now we're going to get some yellows and more yellows and golds in there, and maybe a few reds, but not much to speak of, that's for sure. Here we go. Take a look at this bean field here. These beans look like they're about ready to go. And there's the railroad track. Unfortunately, I was too late to catch any trains today. I heard them when I was in the woods earlier, deer hunting, but by the time I got out of the woods, they were gone. So we're going to drift southwest. We're flying about, we're into the wind, we're flying about 24 miles an hour in normal mode. And she's on auto today as far as exposure. Now, I was planning on putting her on cruise control here, but I got so involved with the flight that I forgot to push the button. So we're going to let her really stretch her wings today. The controller had a 3/4 charge on it, and the battery had about 95%. So we figure we'll let her do her thing for a little while. And there's that power station. Who can resist? You ought to see that thing in the winter when those two tall stacks get to blowing smoke out over there, or steam or whatever. Man, it's neat. I plan on flying through around there. There's that water tower out to the right that I flew around. The far that way, I think there's probably an airport within 5 or 10 miles of that direction to the right. So we're going to stay away from there, although we can go out to the water tower. We'll just make our way through this. Smoke will just kind of sidestep her here a little bit, but see if here and there every once in a while you'll see a silver maple or something like that that's or an elm that's really got a little bit of red in them, but at the same time, ooh, look at that. That looks cool. Let's try to see if we can skirt it right in between billows. Can we get there? Yes, we're going to just, before it gets up and gets us. How cool is that? Pretty neat. In fact, it's so neat I want to look down at it again. No, wrong way. Put it down. There you go. There we go. Now we're cooking with butter, grease, or whatever. So like I said, we're just going to let her stretch her wings. I did want to check out the AR return to home, and we're going to check that out again and check the accuracy of that once we get back to our area. But right now we're still stretching our wings there. I see some nice water up there at the top right hand corner of the screen. Looks like a lake or a reservoir of some kind, but not going that direction quite. We're going to skirt it. This looks like a beautiful area to live out here. Just beautiful flying weather too. Not much wind. I'm guessing the wind's about 5 miles an hour, and it got up to 10 maybe during the flight, but nothing that Betty Lou couldn't handle. She's a level 5, so for a mini drone, that's 20 mile an hour plus. So we're good there. Looking at some ponds now and just following a tree line down. Don't see any turkeys. Sometimes you'll catch the turkeys out there in the fields. Do not. So we'll continue on our way. There's a little gold in the tree right there. Sometimes that's an oak tree. The most color I saw in the woods this morning, the tree I was up in bow hunting was full of poison ivy, and boy, it's turning red, and the berries are white right now on it, and just a beautiful crimson red. They were all, I had to tear a bunch of vines out of the way just in order to sit down in my tree stand. So I got to be careful because I didn't used to be very allergic to poison ivy, but that has changed in my senior years. It has changed a lot. There's a pond that looks like a mud pit. Huh. It almost looks like poured concrete. It's about the same color. There's a beautiful house right there. Wow, I like the way that was built. I like the design of that house. Anyway, guys, we have the Mini 4 Pro out. Betty Lou, her older sisters, Thelma Lou, the Mini 3, and her older sister, Peggy Sue, the Mini 2, are a little upset with me because I've been paying Thelma Lou a little bit more. I've been giving her a little bit more airtime than the other two. But her sisters, they got plenty of airtime. If you'll look on my channel, you'll see lots and lots and lots of flights with them. So just making up for a little ground here. We have a good signal. We're at 5 bars. And I don't know what that is there. He's got some kind of, that is weird looking. I'm not sure what kind of containment deal that is there. But you'd be surprised flying out over country like this, what the stuff you see. Just amazing sometimes. Just amazing. I think that lake was up on the right, and I think we're about even with it now. But we're going to let her go out a little ways and see how she does. I think once she drops down to 4 bars, we'll probably bring her back home. I don't know if have you seen the videos of how the return to home looks on the Mini 4? I guess in a screen capture you would get to see that, but it looks like a boom tube, a green boom tube, referring to something in a Marvel picture. Marvel Studios, one of their superhero pictures. Okay, there we are. I think there we go. I think that's far enough today. There's the water tower in the background back there. And we're just going to start heading back about the same way we came. Look, the skies are beautiful, just blue, just painted with some high cirrus, just wispy. That's what I like to see. Good flying weather, that's for sure. Anyway, on the way back home, we have a little bit of a tailwind with us. We're doing about 26 miles an hour. Almost wanted to put her in sport mode and just see if I could get 35 out of her. I don't know if she'll do that or not. I think she'll do about 33 for sure. Anyway, I see myself standing there, so we're going to bring her back in. Yeah, that looks pretty good down there now. I was trying to look into some of the farmers' fields to see if they've done any more haying, and most of them have hayed once. And the price of hay, like I told before, in this neighborhood is the big round bales are going for up to $160. And I think last year they were around $60. So a lot of the farmers are trying to get a second haying out of their fields. And they need it, that's for sure, with the way the weather's been around here with lack of moisture and everything. It's just been extremely hard on them. Their crops are coming in now. A lot of farmers are harvesting their corn now and some of their beans. I've got a buddy just did his fields, and let's see, I think he got 30 bushels an acre, and he was hoping for 55 to 60, but that wasn't going to happen with what we had for moisture. So, but he'll take what he can get. And you'll see some of these fields still need to be harvested. They're the beans, especially. They're waiting to let those things dry out, and they shouldn't have too long a wait because we haven't had the moisture this year. So then they'll start processing and get those bean fields cut. I'm guessing they're going to be sometime late October, early November, first 2 weeks of November at the latest, maybe. They tend to, a lot of these farmers down here tend to harvest their bean fields right before the firearm season for deer hunters, or right during the firearm season, or the week before, somewhere in there, which runs around November 12th each year, somewhere in there, second Saturday of November. So we're on our way back. We're making a beeline straight for that field, that one right there. I see her now. She got a good stretch of the legs today, or the wings, or whatever you want to call it. Was hoping to pick up a train in there, but just missed them. They were just a little bit early. Amtrak came through, and I've got Amtrak on one of my previous videos, a few videos back. I caught it, and it comes through. It's only got like 9 cars on it, and it comes through about the same time every day, but it comes through 45, 50 miles an hour. So you can get her for a little while, but she's just gonna fly past you. How much you can do about that? Now, we did have a heavy car loaded. I must have been coal or something this morning. I heard it come through early in the morning, and she was struggling. And there's not much of a grade right there where that train came by me, and boy, she was pulling. I mean, I think she had 2 locomotives in back from the sound of her, and at least 2 up front. So it was putting the power to the rails, that's for sure. Okay, as you can see, we're returning just a little bit out of the way of the way we went. Not far though. Still keeping her close. Yeah, I was wanting to catch that freight train, or that heavy train. It would have been easy to keep up with her. I could have got some good shots, but fortunately I was out doing other things. And it never fails. They always come through when I'm up in a tree or something like that. So now we're headed northeast. And we've got about a 2 or 3 mile an hour wind, up to 5 at our backside, so we're cruising about 26 miles an hour. I wonder if they'd let me wet a line in that little lake there. I don't know who owns that. I'm guessing that power station owns it. Who knows what they're dumping in there? The fish probably got 5 heads on them and 9 eyes or something. Hard saying. A lot of growth in that lake still, too. We'll get back over it and over the main drag there. Take a peek down. Now, this guy, I think, had some bales out last time I flew over his place. So he has hayed this field and his bales are gone. He's probably sold them. Yeah, that's the field that was loaded with bales, so I don't think he'll get another hang out of that. It didn't look like it was tall enough to cut again, unless maybe late in the year he might get one out of there. Okay. Now we're coming up right at the back of this field here is a railroad track and a walking trail that cuts through there at the top of the screen. So that's where the trains usually run. And if I'm lucky enough to catch them, I can just hop over the little bit of woods there and swoop right down, have some fun. Okay, there's beans that need to be picked that are drying out there, the field that I'm flying over right now. And you can see the railroad track. We're coming up on it, and just to the right of the railroad track, it don't look like it's 50 feet away. There's a walking trail right there, that white walking trail right next to the railroad track. How cool is that? Get a walk, exercise, and watch the big old trains come by. Man, you can't ask for much more than that when you're a kid, let me tell you. Let's see if we see anything in this field. Every once in a while we'll catch some turkeys out on the edge of this field here, but it doesn't look like today. Let me stop here and take a peek. Just to make sure I'm not missing anything. No, I don't see anything. Huh. The old eyes aren't as good as they used to be, so sometimes I've got to stop and look for a minute and check along the edge of the woods there. Where they still catch a deer out this time of day. But mostly the turkeys are walking along the edge of the field picking up as get harvested. Let's go along the left edge of the woods here. See if we can spot anything up here. Now look for colors, and like I was telling you, you're just not going to see much of any color. Some yellow, and what'll happen is once we get some good freezing temperatures, all those yellow leaves that you see are going to fall off. They let go about the same time. It's just like somebody pulled a plug and there they go. That'll thin out the woods, and the rest of it you can just tell just by looking at it. There's not much color. Now this field in front of you is going to get hayed again, but there's really not a whole lot. The farmer's hoping to get a few more round bales out of it, but as you can see, it's just real patchy. So we'll come up here and we're going to let the Mini 4 Pro do its own return to home. We'll see how accurate she is. Hope you enjoyed this flight. We let her stretch her wings a little bit further today. She did a real good job. Here she comes. She's going to let's see if she sits down where she took off at. She is coming down over the landing mat. She's going to turn here in a second once she acquires the location. Right about here, she's going to turn. Oh, she put the camera down. She's turning around and orientating herself the way she took off. She has the landing mat in sight. Let's see what kind of landing she does. I'm going to tell you right now, she's going to flip the camera up, but she's perfect on spot landing. You guys take care of yourselves. I hope you enjoyed this. Treat each other the way you want to be treated. It's always good. The golden rule works good for everybody. Stay safe, and we'll try to get some more content out there for you soon. It's deer hunting season, so it may be a little slower. Take care. Be safe out there. Boom.